just kind of a chance for us to share a little bit about our school, our philosophy, what opportunities are for your students. I can share this, that I'm assuming most of you, this will probably be your first child at West High School. It can be a little daunting having that high school experience, but for being a big place, we're really a small, pretty tight-knit community and family, and I think you're going to really enjoy your time here. Up here is our administrative staff. Our three assistant principals, Liz Bruning and Jenny Eustace and Maureen Head, will be talking to you later on tonight about some of the different opportunities at our school. Our student success coordinator, Garrett Hartwig, who really is our point person for attendance, is also our head football coach, so he's at practice right now. And then our athletic director, BJ Mayer, is en route, so he'll be talking with you a little bit as well. The assistant principals are going to introduce themselves when they come up, so I'll just do a quick introduction of myself. This is going to be my 22nd year here at West High School, 24 if you count my 2 years as a coach. So I've been here a while. I've had all three of my kids here. My final child is going to be a senior. So I told the teachers this morning, today was teacher's first day back, that I'm having a little bit of a kind of a melancholic moment myself, just having my last kid go through all their final first things. But it's a really, I think that's what makes us a special administrative team, as you'll find out. Every single one of us taught here before we became an administrator, and every single one of us either has children that have gone through West High School or has children at West High School or has kids who will be at West High School. All right, and I'm going to have our school counseling staff introduce themselves, or stand up when I introduce them. We have a very robust counseling office here at West, and we want to make sure that we have early connections with your kids and their counselors. So our newest member, too, of our counseling staff is Steve Anderson, and he's right over here. Here's Steve, and if your last name is A through CL, you would be on Mr. Anderson's roster. And we have Shannon Art. Well, I'm going to go alphabetically ordered by names, I think. Megan Johnson-Gott. Sorry, Shannon, I'm messing this up. And if your last name is CL through HI, you'll have Ms. Johnson-Gott. And then Ms. Kelly Bergman. If your last name is HO through MI. And then Mr. Greg Yoder is back here on our tech as well, and his last names are MI through SA. And then finally, last but not least, getting a double stand-up, Shannon Arkfeld. And if you are SC through Z, they'll be your counselors. And you know, they support me saying this. Always feel free to reach out to them. They'll get back to you as soon as they can. Because again, there's a lot of stuff going on at the high school level. Here's just kind of the agenda that we're going to go over today. We're going to kind of just give a very, very brief overview of our school, talk about what new student orientation looks like on Thursday. We'll go through our schedule, as well as kind of what our expectations are. I think that's probably one of the biggest jumps, is going from junior high, or middle school as they call it now, to the high school level. We definitely have higher levels of expectations in all aspects. What our policy is on technology, and then as well utilizing technology at school. And if you need help with that, we'll talk a little bit more about our school counseling office, our health and safety. And then one of the things that's really important to us at West is that your child and your student gets involved in some way, shape, or form in something here at our school. This morning, we're very pleased to announce that for the 5th year in a row, for the first time in our history, we were named the #1 high school in Iowa. Thank you. We're very proud of that. We're very proud of that. It takes a lot of work, and it's not lost on us that a big reason why we are successful is because of our wonderful families. And even as I'm very pleased that we're #1 in Iowa, what didn't get reported as much, we were ranked 455th in the entire country out of over 23,000 high schools. So your child is literally going to be going to one of the top 0.1% high schools in the country. I'm going to keep bragging on this because this is what makes me so proud. You will also not find, I started going through the list currently, you will not find a single high school in the country that is a general population high school. So meaning that almost all the high schools ranked ahead of us have an admissions process, even though they're public. We don't, obviously. We take whoever we have. If you're in our boundaries, you're our student. You know, we don't get to say yay, no, which is a really big factor. The other thing, too, there's not a single high school ranked higher than we are that is more diverse than we are. And that is something that I think really separates West, even from our other schools in our district, is how diverse we are. We are 45% white in our school, in this building, so we are a majority minority district. We are also a school that really embraces, as I said, I send out my weekly newsletter in 18 different languages. You know, one of the things we talk about is the world is at West, and we think that's a really important part of this community and of your students' experience that they're going to have here. Right here, too, you can see what the breakdown of our student classes are. So for the class of 2030, which, man, that seems nuts to say, but I'll also say this again, as a parent of a senior, it goes by so fast, and high school goes by the fastest. I mean, if you thought junior high flew by or elementary, I mean, this is literally blink and it's gone, so enjoy it. We also lead the state consistently in national merit finalists and semifinalists as well, and a big reason of that is because we have over 100 absolutely the best teachers and faculty that you'll find anywhere. All right. I'm going to turn it over to one of our assistant principals, Ms. Eustace. She's going to talk about new student orientation.
All right, good evening, everyone. As Mitch said, we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Jenny Eustace, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at West. And I am also the parent of an incoming 9th grader, so I feel all the feels with you all. I'm very excited. This is my 18th year at West High. I'm a former science teacher and turned administrator, so I've spent my entire career in Iowa at West High and absolutely love it, and so excited to welcome all of your incoming freshmen here to West. On Thursday, they will be coming to this very room, so they will walk in the doors that you all walked in, and they will come into this very room. They are going to be meeting up with their advisory groups. We will have West reps, which are juniors and seniors at West High. They will be here to meet with your students. They will take them on building tours. They will do a fun Q&A session, and then your student will also have the opportunity to walk their schedule. So if they have any anxiety about, I don't know how to get to my classes, or I don't know where anything is, that's okay. That's what Thursday's for. So we ask that everyone's in the auditorium by 9 a.m. They can arrive as early as 8:45. We'll meet in here, like I said, building tours, schedule walkthrough, and then we would also love if they bring a paper copy or have a copy of their schedule on their phone so that they know where it is that they're going and who their advisor is. So that is on Thursday at 9 a.m. And then just talking about their daily schedule here at West High, on the left-hand side are our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday bell schedule, and on the right-hand side is our Thursday early release schedule. These are all also posted on our website, so feel free to check them out. Many students ask, when is my lunch? That is like the biggest anxiety thing right now. They will learn when their lunch is on Thursday, but just so you all know, typically first trimester, the top floor of our building, so anything that's in the 200s, they will have A lunch or first lunch. Our middle floor, except for PE and band and orchestra, the middle floor will have B lunch, and then our bottom floor, so middle floor is the 100s, and then bottom floor is going to be anything under 32. That's our bottom floor, and then PE and music will also have C lunch. So top floor is A lunch, middle floor B lunch, bottom floor is C lunch, including PE and music. So those are our bell schedules. You'll also see that AFT advisory schedule, so that's 30 minutes built in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Your students will be with other 9th graders, and so those are the groups they will meet with during new student orientation, but it's also just a touch point that they have in the building throughout the week. We will do different advisory lessons talking about our common language at West High, things that are happening at West High, but then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that will be study hall time or intervention time. So it's nice time built in the day that they can work on their homework, they can get help from teachers, they can retake quizzes, that type of thing. So that's our academic focus time is what AFT stands for. And then Mr. Gross would like to chat about our new reassessment policy.
Okay, yeah, this is just something we want to make sure that all families are aware of, because this is going to be a switch at the high school level in the district, and I think that there was a lot of, I don't want to say overcorrection, but a lot of pivoting in the post-COVID world of kind of getting students back acclimated into the academic world. When as I look at the age of the audience, the idea of us retaking a test that we maybe didn't do great on was something that really didn't exist, and that kind of has become normalized a little bit. We're trying to get back to more of a traditional testing kind of system and policy. So here's what the Westside policy will be this year, and just so you're kind of aware that it's kind of a phase out. So first trimester, students will be able to reassess up to 3 exams per class. The first trimester, that goes to 2, second trimester, and then just 1 the third trimester. And then when your students are sophomores next year, it will just be 1 straight through that. So we want to make sure that people are aware of that. What you also need to be aware of is that your students' classes, each class has what's called a curriculum team. So it is possible that those different teams could have different expectations between the other teams. For example, English 9, all your students will take English 9. All the English 9 teachers will be doing the same thing and will have the same policy, but that could be different than the algebra team's policy as far as what needs to happen in order to reassess. I think one thing that would really help us out is for you to deprogram your children of saying, hey, I get 2 shots for every test, because that's just not how life works, and we're trying to get back a little bit more into the real world from that standpoint. I should say a couple things too. The admin team and our counselors will hang out afterwards to answer any questions one-on-one that you may have. And also, I see a lot of people taking pictures. Please feel free to do that, but we're also live streaming this as well. That will be on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out later as well. All right, here's Dr. Bruning.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz Bruning. I'm one of the assistant principals here, and I also taught social studies here. Taught for 10 years, I've been an administrator for 12, I think this is year 12. I was at Northwest Middle School before it was middle school. It was junior high. I was assistant principal and principal there, and then I've been assistant principal here. This is year 5. And I just had a student graduate from here last year, and she's off to college, and then I have a sophomore student as well. So I've been in your shoes, I know how it feels, and Mr. Gross was right. It goes so fast. So hang on to it, because it's exciting and it's fun, but it's over before you know it. Just a few things on attendance to just make you aware of, and your student will get this information as well, but so that you're prepared if you get those automated phone calls, this is what we're talking about. Students are counted tardy. UT is unexcused tardy if they are after the tardy bell, but up until 23 minutes into the period, so about halfway through the period. Students have 5 minutes to get from class to class, and they can do it. Most students get to class on time, but there are a few students who might spend a little extra time chatting in the hallway or doing something else, so they get a little bit late to class. Then they would be marked tardy until the 23-minute mark of the class. If they're after that point in time, or they don't show up at all, it's considered a UA, or unexcused absence. If a student has 6 UAs and a grade of 35% or less, it's potential that they would be dropped from the class because they've missed so much of the class. There's no way that they could learn the essential understandings and pass the class. And so it's potential that they would drop. And there would be communication well before that. Teachers are required to communicate home. We will communicate home. Mr. Hartwig, our student support coordinator, will contact home. So there'll be lots of information and contact before anything like that would happen. So just so you're aware, that is the process, but there would be tons of communication before anything like that happens. There will also be attendance requirements to attend some West High activities, especially homecoming, which is coming up in the fall here. I think October 10th is our homecoming dance. So we usually have an attendance requirement that students are attending class and having good grades in order to participate in those fun activities. Prom in the spring is the same way. Other types of sporting events, performances, other celebrations may have attendance requirements to those as well. So make sure your students are going to class. That's really most important thing about high school. The teachers will help them. They'll be able to pass their class. If they go to class, everything will take care of itself from there. But getting to class is the most important part. Please communicate with us if your student is going to be absent, whether you call, or you can also do that online in the parent portal if you have the app. This is the same as what you did in middle school if you were here in the Iowa City District. at Northwest Middle School or one of the other middle schools in the district, you did the same thing there. We have 2 attendance lines. You can call either one of those. You could call the regular line and we'll patch you through. Whatever is easiest, just the communication is very important. If your student is gone for an appointment in the morning and then they come later, they have a note from their doctor, stop in the office to sign in. We'll clear their absences that way. So just make sure that you're stopping by, communicating, whether it's you or your student, making sure that you have that communication with us. You want to talk about this, or do you want me to talk about this? New this year, well, maybe not new, but something we're really trying to emphasize this year is if you and your family have any plans for extended travel, especially outside of the United States. We have a very diverse school, like Mr. Gross said, so we sometimes have families that will be traveling out of the country for family events or for holidays, and if that happens, please make sure that you notify your school counselor right away of your travel plans. If you are away for 2 or more weeks, you will be withdrawn from our system, from your classes. So you're still a West High student, but they would remove all of your classes, and when you return, you would be considered like a new student. So it's very difficult for students to make up any work during that time. It's very hard. You know, if it's possible to avoid international travel or extended absences like that during the school year, that's probably what we would recommend for consistency, but we know sometimes emergencies do happen and things happen, and students do need to be out of the country or away for an extended period of time, but communication is most important during that time, and we can work with you and with your student to help make that as smooth as possible. But please know that those extended absences really do make an impact on the student. It's hard to make up that work. Our school systems like Canvas and Infinite Campus, typically you cannot log in when you're overseas, so it is definitely a challenge. So please make sure that you're communicating with administration or their counselor when your student is going to have an extended absence. Cell phones. Again, if you've been in the Iowa City School District, you're probably pretty familiar with the cell phone policy. Nothing has changed here at the high school level. So if you have other students in high school or you've been familiar with this policy, we have a no phones policy here at school. Instructional time is between the tardy bell and the dismissal bell for that class period. So your student can check their messages while they're walking from class to class. They can check their messages at lunch. Those types of things are okay. So, but when you are in class, students need to have their phones, earbuds, headphones, put all of those things away. No texting on your Apple Watch in class. For those things, you need to make sure that all of that stuff is put away. You're focused on your learning. If a student has their phone out during class, teachers will send a message that comes to administrators and some of our support staff, and those phones do get confiscated and taken to the office. After, if you have a lot of those, we will communicate with you as the parents so that you get that information, so you know that your student is having their phone out a lot, frequently being on their phone, and we will come up with a plan for that as well. Again, it's a lot about communication. They have plenty of time to check their phones between classes, during lunch, before and after school, so keep the phones away when you are in your classroom. Some more details on the violations. This is the information that we have, kind of what I just went over. If you wanted to take a picture of that, you can, but I think mostly just make sure that you're communicating with your students to keep their phones put away. We have, last year, had some students who then started to bring like their MacBook or their iPad, and they were going to take notes on that, but it's connected to your phone, so they're using it that way too. So again, communication home, we would be saying, hey, we need to keep personal devices at home, use your school-issued Chromebook. That's the best way to access all of your schoolwork. All right, thank you.
All right, and just a couple of quick notes. We've used these terms a couple of times, but Infinite Campus, similar to you used it at Northwest, if that's where your student was attending. Our student information system is Infinite Campus. That's where you will check and see attendance. That's where your students will see their grades, and that's where your student will find their schedule. And then our learning management system is Canvas. So that's where they will see all of their courses. Their teachers might put assignments on there. They might have to turn in assignments on there. Some of our teachers choose to have their grades on Canvas as well, but just so you all know, the final grade the important grade, the grade that's going on the transcript, is an infinite campus. Okay, and then some quizzes and tests will be taken on Canvas, again, depending on the teacher and what it is that they like to do. So if you ever need technology help, you can email helpdesk@iowacityschools.org. If your student doesn't have a Chromebook or something happened over the summer and it broke, on Thursday, we will also be offering Back to Business Day. So we will have actually our tech person in the cafeteria. So your student is welcome to bring their Chromebook and his name's Tyler, have Tyler check it out and help fix it before the school year starts. So that will also be happening on Thursday if your student needs any tech help. All right, I am gonna have them walk up here. So our school counselors, come on down. Come on, stand up here. And if one of you, somebody can volunteer as tribute, would like to just give a quick spiel as to what happens in the school counseling office, and then maybe also talk about our SFAs and Mr. Russ Johnson.
Hi there, my name's Steve Anderson. I am first year here at West, and I'll have the alphabet A to CI.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Johnson-Gott. This will be my 16th year at West, but my 3rd year as a counselor. I was a social studies teacher prior to being a counselor, and I have last name CL through HI.
Every year they put us on the spot and they don't tell us. My name is Kelly Bergman. I work with students' last names HO through MI. This is my 15th year at West High and my 20th year as an educator.
My name is Greg Yoder. I am guidance counselor, and I have students with the last names ML, even though it says MI, ML through SA. I have been in education for 30 years, and I've been a counselor for 26. So I've been around a little bit.
Hi, my name is Shannon Arkfeld. This is my 4th year at West High. I also have students with the last name SC through Z, and I had 4 children that also graduated from West High. So big fan of West High, and then Greg's gonna come up and talk.
So in the guidance counseling office, we have a lot of folks that, besides ourselves, we've got our registrar, Debbie Landis, who her job is to take care of the grades at the end of grading periods, run some reports for us from time to time. Brittany McConnell is kind of the face of our office. She's great. If anybody ever has questions, if you ever happen to call or stop in, you'll probably see Brittany. She also is helping to coach cross country, so you might have seen her outside when you came in. Additionally, we have 2 SFAs. SFA stands for Student Family Advocates, Mr. Ryan Lee and Christine Dugan. The 2 of them do an excellent job working with a variety of students, a lot of social, emotional, mental health needs from time to time, and just they're really good at working with students as well. For the 5 of us that are present, we really enjoy getting to know your children. We like learning what it is they enjoy doing, what their plans are for the future. It takes a little while, but then by the time that they're seniors, we really enjoy talking to them, talking about future plans. We plan with them. We make sure that we get them what they need so that they can apply to their next institution or whatever their plans are for the future. So that's just a little bit of what we do. Additionally, Russ Johnson works with our office. Russ is our career coordinator, as well as, I should say, Kayla Strand. So there's kind of 2 of them that we tap on the shoulder from time to time. Russ, a lot of his focus is getting kids, if they have interest in working with a career through Kirkwood. Sometimes he'll take kids on job shadows or maybe internships. He usually takes kids on some field trips in the fall and or the spring. So there's just a number of different resources that we have in addition to the scheduling piece. So that is something that we're very busy doing right now. There have been a number of information that's gone out as far as how kids can make schedule changes. They can submit that schedule change form, and we're we're diligently working on that every day as we go, and on top of enrolling new students. So we look forward to getting to know you all and your students, and welcome to West High.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Maureen Head. I'm one of the other assistant principals. My connection to West, I actually graduated from West in 2000, and so I care a lot about this place, and I'm super, super happy to be back and serving in this role. I started teaching here in 2011. I taught 9th grade science, and this is my 5th year, I think, in the administrative role. So thanks for coming out. I know you guys are busy, so we'll keep it pushing. The health office. The health office has, I don't know, there's a ton of reasons that kids go to the health office. We have a couple other resources for mental health and kids that need breaks, so we try to make sure that the kids understand that the health office really is for health needs, not necessarily mental health, although from time to time that does pop up, but health. So for example, if your student takes meds, if you want them, or if they need to take meds in the middle of the day for various reasons, we have a paper form that we need you to fill out. Like, we don't want your kids carrying meds around in their backpack. That would be a situation where we'd need to call home and say, hey, we found so-and-so with a bottle of NyQuil, and we need you to fill out the paperwork. And actually, you can't bring NyQuil to school, so that's really a bad example. But there is a form. So if you have concerns about your students taking medications here at school, we do have a process for that. Stop and talk with one of us after the meeting. I should have started off with our health office being staffed with a school nurse and a health associate. So from the bottom up, so Summer Dale is our health associate. She is one of the most kind, compassionate, nurturing women that I've ever met in my life. She takes great care of the kids. She does a lot of professional development. She's been in the health office setting for a long time, and so she helps kids with, the minor things that doesn't require a professional, medical opinion on. So that's Summer Dale, and then we're extremely, extremely lucky to have Jamie Mears as our school nurse. Jamie came to us from the emergency room, so nothing surprises her, nothing scares her. She is usually more calm, cool, and collected than we are when the health emergencies are happening. And so if your child does have a medical emergency at school, knock on wood, that never happens. But it has come up, and so Jamie is a great communicator, and she would get in touch with you, that sort of thing. So your students are in good hands if they have to visit the health office. So if you have any questions about that, certainly stop us afterwards. This QR code here is for some of the forms that I was talking about, I think, the medication permission form. So if you want to scan that and have that resource, you're welcome to do that. I'm trying to think what else with the health office. Students, I guess the other thing that's worth mentioning, if it becomes a pattern where we're noticing that your student is maybe going to the health office during third period a lot, or they're going to the health office on test days, that sort of thing, that's also something that Jamie and Summer are really good about keeping track of. They'll let someone in the school counseling office know, they'll let an administrator know, and then we would be communicating that to you as well, just so we make sure that students are getting what they need so that they're not feeling stressed out and needing to escape like that during the day. I was telling someone before we started tonight that I think 80% of the phone calls our secretaries field are about parking or student driving concerns. If you ever have a concern, please call us. We try our best to be responsive. Generally speaking, though, this is the parking situation and the traffic situation. So we have probably the lot that you all parked in tonight out front here. We call it the auditorium lot. That's for student parking. We also have a lot to the back of the building. That would be the south side of the building, I believe. That's also available for student parking. So there's plenty of spots. Every student who drives has access to a spot. It may not be at the front of the parking lot like they would prefer. Kids do get here pretty early in the morning. So if they want one of the good spots, they probably need to be here by, I don't know, like 8:15 or 8:30, probably. Okay. If your student is driving, I know that there are some 9th graders out there who have school permits and things like that. If your student is driving, please have them come to the main office and register their car. It doesn't cost anything to get a parking permit, but it is really helpful to know whose vehicles are whose, because we do have from time to time, as you can imagine, with new, a parking lot of new drivers. We do have fender benders from time to time. We do have students that very much operate with their teenage brain as they are driving and decision making in the parking lot, and so it's nice to know if we see something on camera that's problematic or concerning. That's nice to know whose license plate is associated with with which student. Yeah, I think that's it for parking. Oh, the driveway, sometimes people get confused about this. So the auditorium entrance that you came in is fine to come in. That's obviously, it gets you to the parking lot, but you don't get to come all the way through the front of the school that direction. So if you're needing to come either to the back of the school, or if you need to come to the front of the school, or if you want to park in front of the school, that is a one-way street going this way as it exits back out to Melrose. So again, the map probably explains that better than I just did, but that's also helpful information. Oh, so I had mentioned the teenage brains and the vehicles and the parking lot situations. We have been trying to reset expectations as far as where students are parking. We've had a problem the past couple years with kids parking in the bus lanes, and then the buses get here, and they can't get through because of various choices in terms of where students are parking. So if you can just encourage your kids, use the spots that are designated. We'll teach them this in advisory in the first week or two of school, so they'll have that information as well. But just know, we have started sending talking points messages or phone calls home, and we'll say, hey, your kid, and we'll give them a bright pink ticket or a bright green ticket on their car that says, hey, you're parked illegally. If you park illegally again, we're gonna have to tow your car. And we'll let the parents know that as well, just to say, hey, your student was parked in the bus lane again. We need that for the buses to get through. We need it for traveling staff, for the kitchen workers. Don't let your car be towed. So that's something that we will communicate in advance as well. Oh, the last bullet point here, if you are volunteering, if you are for some reason coming during the middle of the school day and you're going to a classroom, sometimes we have like art shows or other events in the school that parents might come to. Just make sure you're checking in at the main office. So that would be at the front of the building. You're gonna come in through the doors that are underneath the gigantic green W that you'll see outside, and that's just a security protocol to make sure that we know who's in the building and who's around the kids. Jenny, let's see, right? BJ, come. And now.
Hi, I'm a former coach, so I got to tone it down. I asked if I had to use the microphone, and they said yes. So I apologize if I'm a little loud. I've been at West High this is my 18th year. I have not taught at West High. I was a teacher at Wickham, Northwest, and I'm currently the AD in my 5th year. I was the head girls basketball coach for 14 years, and then got into the administration role as the athletic director. So one thing that I would encourage you to encourage your students to do is to simply get involved. We have lots of athletic programs, we have lots of fine arts programs, we have lots of clubs. The more that you can get your students involved, the more that they're gonna know people, the more comfortable they're gonna be, the more that they will feel connected to West High School as well. Our fall season has actually started currently, but you could still register for a lot of winter, spring, and summer athletics. There are potentially some fall sports that your kids could get involved in. We're a little bit short of numbers on freshman volleyball. And we will always try to take cross-country kids as well. Football's kind of been going on. Our cheer and dance have been going on most of the summer, so those probably are a little bit tighter. Our golf season and girls' tennis season is almost half over already, so they started early. So those will be difficult to probably join right now, but in the winter we have basketball, wrestling, swimming, as well. And then in the spring, we have boys and girls soccer, boys and girls track, we have girls golf and boys tennis, and then in the summer we have baseball and softball. One of the things that you'll see coming from me are ways to register your kid. You've probably seen some things come out from me already about registering on Bound. Bound is a website that we use that has you as parents upload their physical, sign a permission to practice, tell me that you understand that they could get concussions, and different things like that. It's also where we take the emails and things and communicate with you and your athletes so that we can get information out about practice, tryouts, those kinds of things as well. It also has all of our schedules on there. We also have just opened up all of our season passes. This year we will be charging admission for almost all of our home athletic events, including some 9th grade, some 10th grade. We typically charge for varsity stuff, but we will be doing all of that. And if you would get a pass, you will get into all of those for that pass. There's some really good, in my opinion, deals. We have a all-sport pass that allows you to get your family into every high school athletic event, 9 through 12, for $200. And that's pretty good. We have other things that if you don't want to go, but your student does, we have student passes. We have an adult pass if you're the only one that wants to go. And we also have seasonal passes. So if you just want to go watch volleyball and football, there's a pass for that as well as other things. So there's a lot of things happening there. On the board, you can see the activity registration on Bound. There's a QR code. If you ever have questions, you can call the athletic office. Brianna is the person that makes that place run. I get to stand up here and look good because Brianna does all of the work. And so she can help you. I can help you as well. A couple other things that we would ask is we have an athletic booster club named Club West. That's a QR code that will take you to Club West. Club West basically helps support all of our athletic programs, and on the left slide you can see everything that they have purchased for our athletes and our programs. We try to give our athletes and coaches and programs everything that they need to be successful, and we could not do that without Club West. They donate an awful lot of money moving forward and do a lot of things for us for all of our sports, as you can see. I'm going to say one more thing. On Friday night, we are having a fall athletic kickoff fair, or a fall athletic kickoff. It's from 5:30 to 8 o'clock in the back part of the school in where we call the courtyard. We will be selling West High merchandise. We will be selling passes. We will have some of our coaches in a dunk tank. We will have a bounce house for younger students that want to come. We'll be introducing all of our fall teams as well. We will have some food trucks, and we're hoping to have some ice cream and maybe Kona ice things there as well, so you can come out and get to know some of our people. I will hang around if there's any questions, but you can also, again, call the athletic office at any time. Thanks, and go West.
All right, and Club West is actually out in the lobby selling merchandise tonight. So if you need a West High t-shirt, feel free to stop by the tables on your way out. We are almost done, I promise. I know we're getting a little long, but as I mentioned, hi again, I'm Jenny Eustace, and one of my absolute favorite things about West High is how your students can find their people. And that's one thing I have always said working here is, you know, if students feel kind of lost or that they don't have great friends yet or they don't really know what they're interested, you will find that at West High. One of the things that we have here are probably over 40 clubs that aren't considered a sport, aren't considered a co-curricular. They're just a club because a student said, I'm really interested in anime. And a bunch of other kids were like, me too. And then we had a teacher that said, I will sponsor you. And they get together once a week and they talk about and draw and watch anime. So we have clubs for all types of students, and if we don't have a club for them, they can start their own, which is great. So we will have a club fair during our advisory time. All ninth graders will get to go to it during advisory on Monday, September 14th. So they'll be able to see all of the clubs we have. We have student organizations, we have HOSA, which is a health organization, we have the Red Cross Club, we have debate, we have K-pop club, we have different cultural affiliated clubs as well. Art club, we had a beautiful mural. If you go to the courtyard on Friday night and check out, we had this very unattractive kind of cavern area in our backyard, and the art club completely transformed in it and it looks like a tropical garden, so definitely check that out. But if your student feels a little lost or scared about coming to West High, the club fair is a way that they can get connected and meet new people and find something that piques their interest. And then we always like to give a shout out, one of our biggest, I guess you could consider it a co-curricular, you could consider it an extracurricular, a club, but is Theater West. And we will have our fall play, which is Pride and Prejudice, and then our spring musical will be Les Miserables. And obviously they can audition to be one of the people on the stage singing, dancing, acting, but we also have a costuming crew, we have a makeup and hair crew, we have a tech crew. So this is probably one of our biggest student groups. Usually about 200 to 250 students are involved in putting on our plays and musicals. So again, my guess is your student will find a home somewhere here at West High. So that's something we are really excited about. How can you all help us? So you all serve a vital role in helping us put on our co-curricular and extracurricular programs. So if you're able to volunteer your time, we would greatly appreciate that, whether it's working a concession stand, volunteering to be a ticket taker, even just showing up and supporting the amazing students we have at West High will be greatly appreciated. Every week, you should have gotten one on Monday this week. We send out the West High Weekly. That's the way we communicate a lot of our big events and communication out to families. And then you can impact students in a positive way by joining our PSTO. They meet once a month, Wednesday evenings via Zoom. Mr. Gross will send out those Zoom links to everyone so you can hop on. As BJ mentioned, become a member at Club West, and then we also have a very active music auxiliary. I don't know if you guys could hear this in the background, but our marching band is rehearsing, and we got some fun drum beats going on behind us, but all of these are great ways that you can make a positive impact on students here at West High. So we hope to see you in and around our building often this year. And then Mr. Gross is gonna wrap it up.
All right, well, thank you so much again for coming tonight. We know it's a very busy time of the year, and we're kind of jam-packing a lot of information in this, but I do want to just give you, I'm sorry, my phone just went off. We're talking about cell phones, and mine just went off, so I apologize. This is kind of our first couple weeks back, and I'm just going to go over some of those big events. Obviously, Ms. Eustace talked about the Back to Business Day, so that's designed really to be a one-stop shop for you all to kind of get the things done that you needed, and your students to get those things done that they need. And then as we went through the new student orientation process as well, first day of school is, you know, it's pretty exciting, and I think one thing that does separate West from the other schools in the area, you know, we're happy that students are back, but a reason why we're ranked number one is we start school day one. So, you know, we're academics on day one. So your students will probably have homework on Monday night. You know, a lot of the other schools will have a big assembly and a rah-rah thing, and you know, our rah-rah comes out in U.S. News and World Report every year, and that's the reason why, you know, we are where we are. We will also have back to school night on September 9th, and I really encourage you to come to that event. You'll get to walk your students' schedule and just spend about 5 to 7 minutes in each class, get to interact with the teachers, get to kind of see what it's like walking the hallways here, and just, you know, kind of interacting with those instructors. And then we have homecoming week, which is very big. We have a homecoming parade. We have activities for the students. We'll end that on Friday with a big pep rally, spirit assembly, and then our homecoming game, and then the homecoming dance, which I think Dr. Bruning said is the biggest event of the year because it's all grades are here, and it's a, it's a lot of fun for that as well. And then finally, to wrap up first trimester midterm parent-teacher conferences, we have two options for you: a virtual conference option as well as an in-person conference option as well. So with that, we'll be sticking around here. Again, I really appreciate the time that you're coming. There's the old Nigerian proverb that it takes a village to raise a child. We absolutely believe that here at West High School. We can't do what we do without the help of our great parents and guardians. So we really appreciate your involvement and your engagement. And we're looking forward to a great year. So thank you so much for attending tonight.
I'll take your cell phone for you then.